Well, hi there, Stephen K. Peeples here, and I'm here with the Quebe Sisters in Santa Clarita. How are you guys? Welcome back.
We're wonderful.
Good.
Glad to be back.
Hulda, Sophia and Grace.
Hi.
And they're Texas fiddle players. First time that we talked was exactly 10 years ago.
What?
Can you believe that?
No.
10 years
2006.
ago. 2006.
At this festival?
I feel
At the
so
Cowboy
old.
Festival.
No way.
I remember you guys were here with Joey and Mark Abbott. I think was the bass player at the time.
Oh, 06.
I remember that.
Yeah. And
We just saw Mark the other day.
You were 15. You were 18 or 17. It was
Man,
like,
you have a good memory.
wow.
Dang.
Well, you know, it was a remarkable thing to see you guys for the first time. I mean, it's not like I'm sure people in your area, your neck of the woods, were kind of more familiar with you, but you kind of landed in Santa Clarita as an unknown and just blew everybody away.
We really hadn't played in California, though.
That was your first time in California.
Yeah.
I remember it was a big deal. You were like, oh boy, we're looking forward to going to and sticking our toes in the Pacific for the first time.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
on
that
that
trip. I remember that. First time I saw
We did
that
actually,
yesterday.
I came across some pictures that we took. I took so many scenery pictures that first time. I just remember being like, the vineyards, and just being overwhelmed by the countryside of California.
It's beautiful. Well, you just came from Santa Ynez, which is a little bit up the coast and also really pretty up there. Came at a really nice time. So this trip to California is for the Cowboy Festival, and you have some other gigs on this little mini tour as well.
Yeah, this is kind of a quick trip for us. Yeah, we played up in Santa. You said Ynez?
Yes.
Okay. I struggled the whole night at that gig pronouncing the name of the town right.
Well, I hope you didn't say Santa Ynez or
No,
anything.
I think I avoided saying the actual name of the town on stage the whole night.
That's probably smart. Hello, wherever we are.
And then we're here tonight, and then we're playing up in Irvine tomorrow night. And then actually we flew out here, which we usually drive. We do most driving now. So, but we did it. We flew because we are home for a day, and then we have a very long 3-week extensive East Coast tour coming up.
Yes.
So that's when we'll put the miles in the van.
Definitely. Now, on the East Coast tour, are you guys playing any venues that you haven't played yet so far that you're really looking forward to playing? Tell me.
There's just, I've heard good things about some of the concert series that we're playing for through our booking agent, and right now for us, we're playing a lot of new venues, a lot of new places. So probably a quarter of what we do for this year will be maybe some repeat venues, but I would say a half to maybe even 3/4 will be brand new for us. So
that's
we're
really good.
excited about that.
It's helping to spread the fan base, expand the fan base.
Exactly.
That's really good.
It's great to be asked back. You know, that's a good feeling to be like, oh, we want you to come again. And so that's always great when you have that at a gig, but then, you know, you don't want to just constantly beat the same audience over the head, you know?
Exactly. Well, I have to tell you, Mike Fleming is a kind of a friend of ours, and after you guys appeared last time, you know, the first question was, okay, you're going to have them back in another couple of years? Yeah, sure. And then a couple of years came up, and you know, for one reason or another, there was some personnel changes in the band or whatever, and he opted to like hold off. And I said, Mike, what the? And he says, well, are they still doing Western swing or are they doing bluegrass now? I said, look, they will play Western swing at a Western gig or bluegrass at a bluegrass gig.
Yes.
You know, they can go either way, they can mix it up, whatever. Book those girls again soon.
We'll keep you.
You should be our PR person.
Well, and then I went to your website because I wanted to do a little research to see what was happening, and I wrote it. So I know what's happening. That was pretty funny. Anyway, let me ask you about a couple of things. The album that you appeared with, Asleep at the Wheel.
Yes.
The last one, we didn't have a chance to talk about that on video, so I'd really like to hear about how that session went and what it was like being in the studio with those guys laying that track down.
It was so cool because, I mean, we have known Ray Benson for quite a few years, and
Riding with Bob.
Yeah, Riding with Bob
appearances.
play. That was when we first met them, and Ray is, you know, and we've been down to their studio before in Austin. He's had us down to come in there and play before, but when they were making this record, every track is a different guest artist, but it's all Bob Wills music. Still the King, obviously, you know, is a Bob Wills reference right there.
Yep.
And so he called us up and said, hey, we're thinking about doing this album. We're pulling together all the pieces. It was a lot of planning to get so many different artist schedules working.
It took him like 2.5 years to
Yeah, and his
pull that together.
kid, Seifert, was involved too.
Yeah, Sam.
Pretty heavily.
Sam is one of their managers now, and so he does a great job.
I think, wasn't he running the board that day?
Yeah,
He's also a studio engineer,
Great engineer.
really good.
Yeah.
So we went down there, and but before we went, Ray had talked to us about being on the album, and then when he called us, you know, the final time, he's like, okay, we got it figured out. This is a song we want you to do. And he said, oh, by the way, it would be a duet with Willie Nelson. And we're like, what? Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. I think we could swing that. Yeah.
We were so excited. We're like, how fast? We can get to Austin. We can be there in 2 or 3 hours. So, but Willie had already recorded his track, so we didn't actually record with Willie, which would have been awesome. But they had already tracked everything, and we came in and just put in our parts.
Right.
You know, went down to the studio, and Sam was there, and
Ray was
just,
there.
Yeah, it was just a real casual, fun day.
Yeah,
really,
we actually didn't do fiddles on that.
That was just
They
backing
had-
vocals, right?
Well, not backing vocals.
And,
We
and
took.
some lead. Well, you did a verse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did a verse, and then Willie did. Did Willie do the choruses?
Or I think we did the choruses and Willie did the verses.
You would remember.
Right.
But like
Right.
we sang our parts for Ray to make sure he liked our ideas, and he did. There was like one spot where he was like, you know, I think y'all are doing a different chord here than what I'm doing. So he got out the guitar and we tested it, and sure enough, we were doing the wrong chord in one spot. So we fixed that, and then we just went in the booth and tried a couple times. And they really, like, Ray was so chill about it that he just kind of made us all just relax and like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
It was really
And
fun.
how an album should be made.
Exactly.
Well, he's had a little bit of experience.
Oh, you could say that.
2 times.
I had an opportunity to read his autobiography a couple of months ago, and I did a phone interview with him about
I've
it.
been meaning to get that
I
and
wanna
read
read
it.
it.
Really, really good. And if you think you know a lot about the band, you know, you'll find out a lot more that you didn't
I've heard
know.
it's a very honest book.
He's pretty straightforward,
That's cool.
and
That's awesome.
and it really it's really revelatory, I think. He doesn't mention you guys in by name in the book, so just let you know up front.
I wouldn't expect it.
But then after the album was recorded, you did a number of gigs with Asleep at the Wheel as Ray and the band were promoting this with a bunch of the other artists on the album, including the Abbott brothers, and that was what the Austin City Limits appearance was all about. Right?
Yeah, and
that
you
was
were there.
I was there, but we didn't have a chance to talk about it on video. So
That's right.
I'd love to hear what you thought about doing that, and how much fun it was to be on stage with all those characters, and you know, Leon Rausch, and,
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
the two original Playboys that were there.
The gentleman on the saxophone.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, Billy Briggs.
Yeah, Billy Briggs. So
Once the album was released, Still the King was released, the Wheel asked us to go out on tour with them, and so we toured the whole month of March really extensively with them, March of last year, and so
Right
there's
after that
still.
taping.
It was actually right
Yeah, 'cause
before the taping.
Well, I think the taping.
Oh, I'm
was
sorry,
in
you're right. Right after the
February.
taping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went and toured the month of March with them. But the Austin City Limits show was really fun because we know everybody from the Wheel. We know Leon Rausch. We know some of the players, and but then it's like, yeah, it was our first time meeting the Abbott brothers, and we actually know Amos Lee. And so on the Austin City Limits show, Amos did one of his own songs and then asked us his people called us and said, hey, why don't you come in and sing with Amos on, did we do Sweet Pea with him?
Yeah, Sweet Pea,
That
right.
was fun.
So that was a lot of fun because we had actually met Amos, because Amos knew about us and then he's friends with Ray. It was just this big triangle of everybody knowing about everybody.
No degrees of
But
separation.
none
That's
at all.
what makes it so much fun.
So that was a really fun show. I mean, everything was live, and the Moody Theater in Austin's just awesome.
Yeah, and they really know how to take care of the artists.
They
too.
do.
It's a real artist-friendly venue and a bunch of people who are real artist-oriented. They really make you feel comfortable. And
Yeah, and the audience there was just like, it was such a great vibe. We've gotten so many comments like on our website and Facebook and messages, people like, I saw that episode, one of my favorite things, if TiVo'd it, recorded it, so.
they bring it up for an encore. I think it's been on twice since the original broadcast. So it's one of the classics. One of the classics on Austin City Limits.
That was probably one of the highlights for me from last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was just really fun.
I bought really expensive shoes to play that shows.
It was kind of weird because we're not used to doing any kind of performances generally without our band, without other people. So we went down there just as a trio, basically, and the band was the wheel and all those musicians, and so that just
It was
had a
fun
totally,
playing with them.
it really was, and it has a totally different feel, playing with them versus, musicians that you're used to playing with, and it was just fun. It was just a really neat kind of different experience.
What was really cool for me to watch was the three of you guys and the two asleep at the wheel fiddle players.
Yeah.
That was fun. That's all
5
I did.
fiddle players
Dennis
going.
and Katie.
Oh my goodness, that was great. That was just
Yeah.
bleeping awesome.
That's fun for us, We only
You
get
can bleep
3.
yourself on your own thing. I love it.
Yeah, Dennis and Katie are great players.
And
so
we've
that
actually
song's
known
fun.
them from
Yeah.
film contest days. I
Mhm.
mean,
We were all
because
young.
we're all similar in age, so
Right.
If
So you all kinda
backstage it
came
was
up
all-
together, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So they actually, as the Wheel actually hired Dennis recently as a full-time band member. So
Nice.
yeah.
Good. Good. And Emily Gimbel,
Mhm.
piano player.
We really love
She was
Emily.
great, and working with you guys, just having a piano in your sound was a little bit different, and I liked that.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really
I
fun.
really enjoyed that as like a different, just a different dynamic stuff you can do.
Well, now let's look forward a little bit. What are you guys working on now? I know you've been recording, you've been writing, you've been talking about working on some original songs. How's that coming along?
We are still working on that. This year has been kind of a new transition for us. We all live in Dallas now, which is exciting.
Okay.
And now we can just get together and practice whenever we want, which has been awesome. And right now we're just working up new material, and then, as we get something down, then we work it into our road material, and then when we feel good about that, from that list of new stuff, then we'll call what we're going to do for an album.
Gotcha. Well, if you need a lyricist, you know who to call.
All right.
That's right.
Be happy to help.
Cool.
So I wanted to ask also about the Purple Hulls.
Yeah.
You guys were touring with them last year.
Yes.
And last time we did an interview actually was with them. That interview has gotten lots of traffic.
Good.
So update us on the relationship with the Purple Hulls and what you guys how you guys decided to carry on individually or.
With Penny and Katie, their names are Penny and Katie Clark. Yeah, their band name is the Purple Hulls. And before they played with us, they did their own duo work. And then
They're based in Texas also.
Yes, they're based out of East Texas. And we've been friends with them for a long time. And they used to live in Nashville, and that's actually originally where we met them.
At the
And
Grand
then-
Opry.
Right.
At the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
And then we had the full circle of we live in neighboring cities, way out, East Texas, us in Dallas area, and so we became really good friends. And then 2014 we were looking for bandmates, and so they came in and played with us for that whole year. And they actually played with us when we did the Sleep at the Wheel tour.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun, but they wanted to continue to do their Purple Hulls music. And our band, this for the last year and a half for us has been, about close to 2 years coming up, year and a half for us. We've just gotten busier and busier and busier, which is awesome, but it wasn't really allowing them time to work on their own stuff.
Right.
And they weren't able to play a lot of their own gigs. And so, I mean, they loved playing with us and vice versa.
Yeah.
But they wanted to record an album, and they had a lot of unfinished songs. And last summer, you know, well, not last summer, it is 2016. My brain's still in 2015. And so it just worked out. The timing worked out well. It was kind of a quick turnover because we were all, you know, we were in the middle of kind of touring. So we found other bandmates, and then they kind of like, we just did a quick changeover, but it worked out really well for them, and they're really pursuing their career.
Good.
So they're kind
They
of
made their
and they made their album,
which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it out yet?
Yes,
Yes,
I
yes.
released it.
Okay,
It's a
well,
great album.
It's called Why We Sing.
okay.
So
check it out.
it's on their website,
I will
purplehalls.com.
definitely check it out. Purplehalls.com.
That's right.
Okay.
And
Very
I
good.
think too, it was a really cool thing to get to do, you know, experience with some of your best friends.
Yeah.
And I think the interesting thing about us working with them and them working with us was that we come from like completely different musical backgrounds.
Mhm.
I know that sounds a little odd when you're talking about, hey, we all play
No,
acoustic
I
instruments,
get it,
mandolins, and
no.
fiddles. But like they're, you know, the difference between Western swing and bluegrass is quite different.
Yes.
And so they thought it was kind of fascinating jumping in and learning like the swing stuff. Since they were playing in our band, they kind of had to do more of the molding to us
Right.
versus us to them. And so like they had never played swing guitar before or any of that. And so they had to kind of just
Piano.
really, yeah. And so they just got kind of thrown in the fire, and they did an incredible job just like picking up like a different style than what they grew up with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I
Well,
think
it's like going from country to jazz.
exactly.
Yeah.
It is connected,
Totally.
but you have to figure out the path
It's
between
totally
the two.
different. And I think that that was just a really cool thing for us to have gotten to do together and kind of trade.
We all
Our
learned a lot
worlds.
through the whole
We did.
experience.
But I think we always kind of knew
It was an
that
experiment.
it was an experiment, and we always kind of knew like this wouldn't be something that, you know,
We would be doing forever together.
because it's
Right.
kind of like musically where all of our strengths are kind of are different directions. They are so good at like the songwriter duo thing that they have as the Purple Holes. Like that's like their main strength, and our main strength is doing like the full blown swing stuff, you know.
Now,
And so-
did you guys do any co-writing or
We
possible
have done some stuff. Like,
writing songs together with them, perhaps? Did you learn anything from them about songwriting?
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they have.
really good songwriters. They just have their own particular style,
Mm-hmm.
and they also like
They write a lot of gospel music, but now actually it's kind of cool because they're starting to write music, and I've been hounding them to send me some of it, like, because it's not gospel music, because they want
they've
to.
written a lot of like just country songs.
Yeah, they used to be Sony songwriters.
Right.
So we're just like staff songwriters for Sony in
Right.
Nashville years ago. So they're good at all that stuff. So we learned a lot from them.
They know the craft of writing.
Yes.
For sure.
That's really important, but you have to have the inspiration. But if you have the craft, when you get the inspiration, you know exactly
You
what
have
to
the
do.
skills in
Yeah.
order. So we're
It was
newbies.
cool.
The three of us are newbies at the whole songwriting process. So
Yeah.
we are a little bit slow, I should say, in how
Well,
we
yeah,
do
since
it.
I think this is probably the third interview that I've asked you about it. You say, yeah, we're working on original material.
I think we're
Okay,
a little
well,
bit protective of
keep
what our
doing it.
first impression to our audience is of what it is. We would rather be slow with releasing new material because it's really going to be kind of the new sound of what we do. Not that we're ever going to abandon our roots, if you will,
Right.
because
Yeah, no, we're not trying to become something completely different.
we're never not
just
gonna.
sneak the new stuff in there.
Exactly.
It'll just kind of integrate and become part of the set.
It is.
Some of
It's
the
an
new stuff that we
evolutionary
have,
process.
that we have done, we were playing a TV show, and we kind of debuted a new, slower song. We had this kind of violinish arrangement, middle thing in the middle. I don't know how to explain it. And we got, like, people started clapping in the middle of it. And I was like, no one ever claps in slow songs. I guess they really like it.
Title?
So it's called Summer of Roses.
Summer of Roses.
Willie
okay.
Nelson.
It's a Willie Nelson song.
You've
Yeah.
probably heard it.
Very good, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't
But
it
I can hear
Teatro?
you guys doing
No,
it
it's
too.
not.
It's not on Teatro. I'm off.
The name of the album that's on escapes me at the moment. You probably know.
Yesterday's one.
We've had
Yesterday's
yeah,
Wine,
Yeah, it was
yes.
the last
Thanks,
one for
guys.
RCA.
great.
Yeah. Have you read
You
Willie's
know.
autobiography?
Pardon?
Have you read Willie's autobiography?
No, I haven't. I read Bud Schrake's a few years ago, but I haven't gotten to Willie's autobiography.
I bet that one's really good.
Schrake's is really good, and Willie was pretty involved in working with Bud on that book. So I mean,
that's cool.
But there are a lot of years and a lot of stuff went on between when that was published and now. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to catch up on.